At 8, the rewriting of history is getting annoying. And the biggest offender of this is tartan warrior Nicola Sturgeon. Now, admittedly, yeah, she wants to stay in the EU. We get it. But do you really have to wash away all the amazing things that women have done for this country to do so? For example, on the ITV referendum debate, she stated that the EU referendum is all about protecting workers' rights, protecting women's rights, as if the suffragette movement didn't even exist. People were just throwing themselves under horses just for the fun of it, just to see what happened. So Sturgeon is ignoring fellow feminists and fighters of all things good of the Ford sewing machinist strike of 1968. But you may know it better as the musical that's currently on at the West End, Made in Dagenham, which has been made into a film, Made in Dagenham. But of course, that's history and we're trying to ignore all that. Let's be frank. The right to holiday time was first introduced in the UK in the Holiday Pay Act of 1938. This is what it looks like. I found it off the legislation.gov.uk website. It's not hard to find. Maternity leave. This is a fun one. EU law only requires a minimum of 14 weeks maternity pay. The UK law provides almost 4 times that, with 52 weeks. It's the second highest within the EU. Maternity pay. The EU does not give pregnant women any minimum pay level during their maternity leave. The UK provides 90% of their pay for 6 weeks and £140 a week for the next 33 weeks. Equal pay. The UK legislated for equal pay rights between men and women in 1970, before we even joined the EU. Wages. The EU does not have a minimum wage law. Only 18 countries out of the 28 in the Union have a minimum wage. The UK has one of the highest minimum wages in the world. And finally, discrimination. The UK had laws on sex discrimination in 1975 and race